This play has many famous and very often quoted lines, and I would like to talk about a few of them now that are meaningful to me. So, one of the most famous lines is when Lear says, "When we are born, we cry that we are come to this great stage of fools." Now, this line does many things for us. First of all, references to a stage or to the process of acting are common in Shakespeare's plays, and I think often give us a way to see a double meaning in a quotation. So the stage of fools could quite literally be referring to the actual stage on which the actors are standing, but also, of course, has a much broader resonance of this social world as a stage of fools. And I think the question that Lear is posing for us is, when we find ourselves on this stage of fools, and perhaps we ourselves are one of the fools, how do we keep going? How do we find wisdom? How do we seek out these human connections? And I think the play offers us several answers. The most important answer, I think, is in learning how to see, particularly how to pay attention to the people around us and to hold on to those core human values like love, reconciliation, forgiveness, and to really see these aspects as redemptive footholds that we can cling to, even when we find ourselves in a situation where it seems like nobody knows what they're doing, and neither do we. So sight is such an important theme of this play, and particularly the relationship between physical sight and mental clarity of insight. So at one point, Gloucester, after he has been blinded, says, "I stumbled when I saw." This is another famous line. So Gloucester is saying here that even when he had his physical eyesight, he couldn't see what was in front of his face. He couldn't see that Edgar loved him, that Edmund was deceiving him. So I think this line prompts us to think about, what are we missing in our own lives? What are we not observing? How could we slow down and really pay attention so that we are not stumbling? And we see this incredibly poignant scene when Edgar, in the guise of poor Tom, comes upon Gloucester, his father, and helps him, helps to lead him even after he has been blinded. And at one point, Edgar says to Gloucester, "Bear free and patient thoughts," essentially forgiving Gloucester for the banishment that he had caused, and offering him this gift of comfort, bear free and patient thoughts. Another line that's really crucial in this play is when Lear says, midway through the play, he says, "I am a man more sinned against than sinning." And I think this line in particular really helps us to understand the complexities of the characters, to think about the nuance of the way in which characters are acting given the situations in which they find themselves. So when we first meet King Lear, we might easily be very mad at him. He has made the wrong choice about which child to trust, and he has sent away cruelly Cordelia, the daughter who best loves him, through a massive oversight on his own part. But as we go through the play, I think we gain more and more sympathy for King Lear. we see how he is mistreated himself, even after he has mistreated others. And this helps us to perhaps recalibrate our response to his character. So, in that way, we can really think about character development, motivations, the way in which characters are responding to circumstances. And I think that we could pose this question or use this rubric for many of the other characters in the play as well. If we think about how characters sin, we must also think about how they are sinned against. This can help us, for example, to rethink perhaps some of our quick judgments for characters like Edmund. Edmund sins a great deal in this play, certainly. He deceives everyone around him for his own gain. He betrays his father. He causes the death of several of the characters. But he is also a character sinned against to a great degree. Edmund is an illegitimate child in a society that does not recognize him as a rightful inheritor of property or titles, does not view him as a contributing, valuable member of society. So in this way, I think we can, the play is asking us to weigh in the balance the sins that a character commits against the ways in which others or the inequalities of entire social systems have sinned against them.